Hey, we're back. We're back, and David Graves came back in telling us that we left out Frontier. So we've got Nick Papagni on the phone. Nick, we're going to ask you to hang on just 1 second. Got Centennial swimming coach David Graves here. Some Frontier kids you said we left out. I guess I was sort of looking at your list sideways there.
Yeah, and it went by me as well, and I feel horrible about that because one of my favorite swimmers is Evan Rabinall from Frontier. He's a great
we
kid.
know him. Won a Valley title last year, correct?
Yeah, and he's a great kid. He's a senior at Frontier this year, and I've known him since he was 10. And this is a phenomenal swimmer who is going to be tough to nail down what he's going to do, but his IM is solid, his backstroke is solid, and his butterfly is solid. And he has a shot to make the state meet in any one of those three events, maybe two.
Very cool. What are the other Titans?
There's a young man named Adam Bond who just came to Bakersfield last year, but that was a lucky grab for the Frontier Titans.
Can we get that name one more time? Is it Bond?
Adam Bond.
Adam
Adam Bond.
Yes, I know. I'm sure he gets that joke occasionally.
Never heard that before.
No.
Yeah, well, he might not have. It's a little bit older. So, there's new James Bond movies out now, so maybe he has. But and then on the girls' side, there's a freshman, Cassidy Lemon, who came in, and she's just tearing it up in the freestyle.
Very good.
So,
question on that: How does Lemon spell her last name? Is that the younger sister of Kyle Lemon, the cross country and track runner, or
that I wouldn't know for sure? But it's like the fruit, but with 2 M's.
Okay.
So I think that's a third spelling of Lemon in this town because you have
Kyle
Kyle
Lemon,
Lemon, you have Dan Lemon, the Stockdale coach, which was just like a lemon.
Yeah.
And now you have a third.
And I hope I'm spelling it right because again, she doesn't swim for me, but I have seen her results.
Sure.
And I've seen her swim, and that young lady can swim fast.
Sure. So you mentioned Frontier is such a good team. We're glad we got a chance to get some of the swimmers
the
out
Frontier
there.
boys are the team to beat this year on the boys' side, and I believe the Liberty girls are the team to beat. And so hopefully my team hears me say that and gets nice and upset with me and works their butts off to prove me wrong.
Very good. Well, we'll wish you good luck, and thanks for coming back because I'm glad we don't want to leave them out. So
so I'm glad I'm not too winning for running back up the stairs.
Yeah, you're only slightly out of breath. I think Trevor might be dead if he had done that. So
I'm going to the pool after this.
You're just getting started.
Relax.
Okay. Yeah. Well, maybe David
laps.
needs to work you out.
Relax.
Okay.
Give me a break.
All right. We're going to move on to Nick Papagni,
Thanks,
and we'll thank David Graves one more time. Nick, thanks for being patient with us, my man. Nick, are you there?
Yeah. Hey, Nick. Seems like a bad connection a little bit. How are you? Okay, I think we just.
Oh, are you there, Nick?
Nick, are you there?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. There.
Sorry about
How
that.
everybody's doing?
We're
Hey,
both
bud.
having a
There
little
we
trouble
go.
with our headsets, but thanks for being patient with us. It's been a big week for baseball and softball. I mean, a lot of sports do take a spring break. Baseball and softball do not. I know we've had some championship games, some still to come tonight. What have your impressions of this week been, starting with baseball? Who's impressed you? I'm guessing the Clovis Cougars are near the top of that list.
Clovis has the pitching, hitting-wise a little shaky, but this is a year I haven't seen like this in a long, long time where anybody can beat anybody. And just look at the Kern Lions, D3 coming in and tying Clovis North. Clovis North was one of the hottest teams in the Valley. So this is a year you're going to see a lot of upsets from now until the playoffs.
And I think pretty much everybody in their rankings, including yourself and Trevor, have had Buchanan and Centennial as the top 2 teams in the Valley, but they've taken their lumps too over the last couple of weeks. Buchanan lost to Clovis North. They almost lost to Clovis East, had to go to extra innings, I believe, to beat them. And then Centennial was rolling along at 14-1, and they just got hammered a couple of times in Las Vegas this week. So where are you at as far as a favorite?
Not to mention, Buchanan also lost to Franklin of Elk Grove, a decent team up there in the Sacramento area also.
But it's are you still on Buchanan and Centennial as the teams to beat, Nick?
I think right now Buchanan is the team. Centennial is awesome as well when Andrew Hansen's on the mound. When he's not on the mound, they're very beatable. You got to look at Tulare Western, who's playing great baseball as well. They're scrappy. They got pitching. Clovis North is young. Clovis West is playing fantastic. They're in the Boris Classic Championship tonight.
That's true.
This is one of these years where anybody could beat anybody on a given 7-inning day.
Yeah, and that's one of the cool years too, and it's one of the cool things about baseball. You mentioned Andrew Hansen. Well, all these teams have an ace, and they're much better with him. But sometimes it's who has that second and third pitcher that can get you through a playoff week. Centennial has Ben Bristol, who's been pitching really well. We know Buchanan was rolling along even without Connor Leprich, and now he's back. So that's going to be, makes the Bears even deeper. Clovis West, they beat Stockdale 1-0 on Tuesday night, and then last night they went 13 innings with Elk Grove and beat them. Was it Elk Grove?
And then,
yes.
And then you look at the Bullard Knights, Brady Barcelos. They just won today. They're in a championship game in San Diego. Brady Barcelos, who throws 55 miles an hour, and he's 7-0. He one-hit Centennial. This kid is tough to hit because kids cannot stay back on the changeup and curveball.
Nick, I just want to make sure I heard you right.
93-mile-an-hour fastball.
Did you say Sammy Hagar 55?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
He
goodness.
throws 55 to 60 miles an hour, and he's 7-0 for the red-hot Jersey boy Bullard Knights. They're on fire right now.
I like that. We should call him like School Zone or something, or Speed Limit, because he doesn't go that fast, but nobody can hit him anyway.
Hey, Nick, let me ask you a question. We got a nice little race that's going to start heating up here, especially on Tuesday, between Tehachapi and Independence and the SEYL. Independence kind of took their lumps out there in Las Vegas, but they've got two big pitchers right now, Connor Schooler and the big right-hander Kevin Larson, but they get Tyler Smith back, who had to sit out after a 30-day, who was an ace for them last year. And then with Tehachapi, they've got Cade Temple, who, like Schooler, doesn't have an ERA, a month and a half into the season. Do you have any insight on those two teams and how they'll rack up there in the league and in the D3?
Well, I got to watch Cade Temple throw yesterday. He threw a two-hitter against a pretty good Bella Vista team. If he's throwing, Tehachapi can beat anybody. They play good sound defense. I like Tehachapi. I think that's going to be one heck of a series. But Tehachapi, I think I'm leaning towards. I think they got some talent. I think they're going to be pretty good.
And that was a team that was in the D3 semifinals last year. And remember that Chris Olafson, their coach, got drilled in the side of the head with a line drive early in their playoff run, and then actually came back for a playoff run. He still has some side effects from that, some slurred speech, some headaches.
I think I'm putting them with Kerman as the 1 and 2, probably going in on the seeding. Kerman or Tehachapi, I think they got the head start. I think Kerman beating Lemoore yesterday really hurt Lemoore. They've lost 6 in a row now, but that's going to be pretty good. Because Tehachapi, I talked to Redwood. I'm thinking about Ridgeview. I'm just changing the subject. Ridgeview can swing the bats. So this is a year, if you can swing the bats a little bit, along with all the great pitching, because I'm not seeing great hitting this year. The changeup is the kids cannot stay back. They're struggling. Ridgeview can swing the bats. So the teams that hit might have a little extra advantage at the end of the year.
Yeah, and that sort of mirrors what's happening in big league baseball right now, where the pitchers are taking such an advantage.
I'll throw out a couple names there for the Ridgeview team. It's Brady Stebbins is third in Kern County with the .514 batting average, and then another guy for Ridgeview is Aaron Charles, who's kind of come along. He's batting .478. Stebbins has 18 RBIs also this season. So yeah, you're definitely you're not far off there when you talk about being able to slug it away.
And Aaron Charles, the younger brother of Art Charles, who was drafted by the pros out of BC a few years ago. Nick, we're all headed towards Rawhide Ballpark in Visalia at the end of the year again. How did you like that last year? Are you glad they're going back? And what have you heard as far as the future of one-site baseball and softball finals?
I absolutely hated it. I thought it's not a good ballpark for the way they did it. I didn't like how they cleared out each game. It's not good for the fans. It's not good for the players. There was no celebration. I think Rawhide's not big enough when you get the Division I championship game. That thing could have. I still like Grizzlies at Chansey Park. They're all excited to have it someday. It hold 10 to 12,000 people. That's what you would have had last year. It's just Rawhide. You cannot see the game unless you're sitting behind home plate. If you're down the third or first base line, forget it. You're not going to see the game at all. I didn't like it. I don't like how they did it, and I'm hoping they get rid of that.
It's interesting. I've heard some positive reviews, so it's interesting to hear a negative one. But as far as one site, I know you've always been a long proponent of that, of being able to, be in one place, see all the games, but they got to do it the right way.
Yeah, I like the one site. I like how they do it at Selden Arena. I don't care where it's at. I want to go out and watch baseball. I don't want to have the clear of the game And this is what all the coaches were complaining about. When the game was over, they had 30 seconds to celebrate, and they turned on the sprinklers. They want everyone out of the ballpark. It's not right. It's not fair to the team. Sure. I just think it's let's celebrate the weekend of high school baseball, have it at a big place where we all can enjoy the games. And I just think that's what and they didn't do a good job on that.
You know, one of those facilities that you talk about is up in Sacramento, where the Boris Classic is going on. We had two locals up there, Liberty and Stockdale, and I know that was Clovis West is up there too.
Clovis West is in the championship.
Yeah, they're in the championship tonight. Liberty played well. They beat Pacific Grove. Then they took a big lump against St. Francis Mountain View 11-2, but they came back and beat Granite Bay 12-3, and they'll play Bellarmine Prep tonight at 4 o'clock, and then Stockdale had another good showing. They beat usually a very good Bay Area power in Archbishop Mitty out of San Jose 4-3. They took a lump, losing 10-1 to Clovis West, and they came back and beat Bellarmine last night, or they lost to Bellarmine, 4-0. They play Granite Bay again at 4 o'clock today, and that's a site where you've got two fields side by side right out. It's literally across the street from Sac State. And I like seeing places like that where you can get two going on at one time, where you give them a little bit more area, or you turn it into like a two-day tournament, two-day event.
I love it. I love the idea. It should be a two-day event. You have it just like basketball. Have it on a Friday night. If you want to have one stadium, have 2 games Friday, 4 games on Saturday, but let everyone in. Charge a little more if you have to, but let's let everyone in and enjoy the festivities. You mentioned Liberty and Stockdale. I think Liberty, Stockdale, Frontier, those are the 3 teams that are probably the X factors in Division I. They could, when they get hot, they could beat anybody. They're just Frontiers up, down, same with Liberty, Stockdale. Keep an eye on those 3 teams because I think they can sneak up and beat anybody. And everyone knows they're good. They got good baseball programs.
Well, Nick, we're going to take a quick break. Will you hang with us for a few more minutes after the break?
Oh, of course. You guys are my favorite South Valley boys. Love it.
All right, I love it. We'll be back with more Pag Meter here on BVarsity Live. We're going to talk some more baseball, some softball, and I might even throw a question out there about 2015 football season just because I can. We'll be right back on BVarsity Live.